So yeah, basically what's creamy. I wanted to talk about how I cheesed my way into getting all my jobs. I was very pretentious about this in the past and I had kind of a chip on my shoulder. But I basically just faked it till I made it, and I'll show you exactly how I did it because tech jobs, to be honest, and getting money right now are like the biggest thing on everyone's mind, like escape the permanent underclass and all that, which I don't think there's maybe there's a little bit of merit to it. I don't know. I think it's just a little psyop to squeeze the techno capital out of you, just like wring you dry so you can exchange the last few good years of your life just like slaving away, making the AI better. But that's neither here nor there. So the way I did this, I'm actually just obsessed with branding and marketing. I'm not really a good programmer at all. I'll go through all my projects and just roast the shit out of them. This is a homebrew tab, which is essentially one Ruby config file. This was written by a Swedish guy, not me. It's maintained by a Swedish teenager, different from the Swedish guy, also not me. Yeah, basically just like I social engineered my way into the org, became a maintainer technically, made like a couple changes to the markdown, dipped. 700-star repo on there. I was kind of responsible for like a tiny bit of it, not really though. Nonsense, I can pull up that project. Let's go lib.type. All this is like, I mean, let's see. It's 800 lines, but a lot of that is like stuff that could be folded very easily. So it's just like basically just Mad Libs like sentence close deletion. So if I do like if I wrap inside I parentheses, and then if I wrap like most of these, let's see what this will look like. Oops. Lost my macro. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not gonna do them all, but that's probably good enough. See, that knocked like 100 lines off already, and we could do more. See, it's just like insertions, and that knocked another bunch of lines off. So this is a very, very basic project. It's just like well marketed and has a bunch of stars because of social media. And that's the other big thing is social media. It's putting yourself out there in a weird way. I've made an absolute fool of myself, an absolute buffoon, but it's gotten me job offers, and so I guess that kind of works. I guess that's the method. And then there's some other ones. This plugin I never use at all. It's completely deprecated. Don't touch it. Literally dot files with 400 stars. Literally just dot files. This is just a wrapper around the macOS system manager, launch control. I think it might have a man page. CTL. Yeah, so this is just essentially like a system command that has, it's for starting and stopping services. And all I did was like write a little Rust shell wrap around it, not an impressive project at all. And then I just spam farmed GitHub achievements. This doesn't really matter, but the other thing I want to touch on here is this might just seem funny, but this is very tactfully chosen. The reason I say this like nonsense, lead team lead at Corp is because all senior software engineers are super disillusioned and burned out and want to just be carrot farmers. And then they see a young person with a lot of humor and energy. They're much more likely to take like someone like me over someone who just like is kind of steeped in the fake culture of tech. And like I can just take the shit out of tech because I know like so much is just people lying and marketing and it's all fake. It doesn't matter. It's just all lies. I see people doing this strategy like of all lies on LinkedIn with kind of like fake startups and companies and whatnot. But the thing is, so many people are doing that it's just like lost its flavor. It used to be, man, it used to be back in the day like lying and psyops were like cool and edgy, and now it's just like cool and edgy to be honest, which is, it's flipped. So the first job I got was just someone contacting me from social media and saying, do you want a job? And the thing with faking it until you make it is you do actually start to make it because more and more senior software engineers started to contact me and just offer me jobs, and technical mentorship like vastly accelerates the pace at which you learn. People think like reading all these books and stuff and talking to LLMs is good, but the thing with a real human is they are training you. They have like learning theory knowledge, especially the good mentors. They know like where your weak spots are, and they can also give you lots of general life advice, which just helps with your productivity a lot. Your mental states, your ability to communicate and talk to people, it just matures you by quite a few years, at least in my experience. And I guess this goes for younger people more so than older people, but senior software engineers are very wise people and they're very good to learn from. Sorry, there's so much construction going on around. so at first I was just faking it, but then some senior software engineers started to see like, hey, this kid is a lot like me. Like at their age, they were also kind of just like being super pretentious and like thinking they were just all of that and they were cracked and like, oh my god, I'm so good at everything. Like I had such an ego about just like having a little bit of marketing essentially and like 2 more years of experience than some people on some shitty like svelte projects or something. But it's not really that much of an achievement at all. Like it's not that far away. The other big thing I'll say, a massive hack for getting hired, is learn Vim, learn alternate keyboard layouts, learn cool little keyboards, learn all the shortcuts. And the reason for this is one, it looks very impressive. People will fill in the gaps of your skill. Like if you're spamming like AI and stuff, everyone's doing that, so it doesn't really stand out. But if you're like a terminal wizard, people are like, oh, that guy must be good at coding. He spends all his time configuring his system. Wrong. You just got psyoped. And it works really well too because senior software engineers, a lot of them have all the skills. They know distributed systems, they know low-level programming, they know all the memory allocation techniques, all the really advanced stuff. But a lot of them have been using either JetBrains or VS Code for a long time, but they know about Vim and they're like, oh, if only I had an opportunity to learn Vim. All of a sudden, junior developer is very enthusiastic to learn, knows how to configure Vim, like knows every part of the Vim manual, will teach you all the obscure Vim tips, and they're super excited to learn the programming stuff you have. It's like the perfect symbiotic relationship. The senior engineers love Vim heads. They love it. And it's like, in my experience as well, the people that in my community have gotten hired are not the ones that are super technically cracked, that are like fucking 20 years of NixOS experience. Well, yeah, I don't know. Like people are kind of young. They're only 21. Maybe you come out of the womb and like a year later you're hacking on Nix. That'll be what it's like in a few years. The children are just getting like recruited into the workforce at like 2 these days. It's outrageous. Like what happened to childhood? But anyway, like, yeah, I see people that are just really friendly, really fun to be around, but not very like technical, get hired by engineers over people that are like really giga cracked, but just like assholes. And so interpersonal skills cannot be stressed enough. They have gotten me everything, and marketing has gotten me everything as well. And then also, I guess I would just like to say, like, a lot of people, I see a very common career path now is pursuing like a master's degree or a PhD in AI engineering, software engineering, ML, data science, all those kinds of things on top of a CS degree. And I think that's the wrong attitude. I don't even think a bachelor's degree matters much anymore because it's just like stat stacking on a resume. And if you think about it, like everyone just has thousands of resumes they're reviewing, and it's like, well, you're just trying to compete with the most maxed out people. The way to do it is to social engineer your way by actually knowing the people in person, knowing what they care about, being unique, kind of specializing more, I guess. And it depends on what company you want to work at. Like when I was a junior engineer, like the target was FANG, the target was the big companies. But you start to realize the more you get into software engineering, you're going to be much, much more happy at a small company with like 3 or 4 guys, great mentorship. You can all like hang out and enjoy things. The stakes are way lower. Yeah, you'll probably make a little bit less money, but you're not going to be just like, I don't know, it's just miserable in big company environments with all their bloat and like systems and bureaucracy and things you're not allowed to do. At smaller companies, it's so fun because you just like shoot the shit with your mentor slash programming friends. Like for 6 hours, you're just live programming. There's not like, sometimes you hit crunch time and you got to go kind of fast, and that's fun too. But a lot of the time you're just like yapping about philosophy while like tweaking the background colors of your website and getting paid for it. It's like shit's so much better than a corporate job. And especially like there are lots of small startups that are more like startup culture, I think has it has a bad name because a lot of it's like Gen Z kind of spamming kind of vibe code of these startups. Hopefully I don't get called out too hard for that one, but nah, let's be real, everyone knows it. But there are lots of senior engineers who have like much, much more business experience running startups that are like well established, and those are the ones you want to target. That's like where you get a good job. And honestly, what I'm trying to do here with the vestibule is just allow people to kind of showcase their work in an environment surrounded by lots of these senior engineers I've met along my journey, and just learn and grow together and get employed. So if you're looking to find a tech job, the meta is very different than it appears on the surface. Like, it is not spamming degrees, certificates, any of that stuff. They don't care. It's like well, it's not that they don't care. It's just like you're competing against so many other people doing the same thing. You're one in a sea of millions, and I mean, it's like the techno capital is just getting squeezed out of you anyway. You might as well like enjoy that process. That's my 2 cents on it. But I also am very conscious that the way I did things was very lucky, and it won't work out for a lot of people. Like I have, I'm lucky that my family is so strange and eccentric, and I grew up like with a lot of like things I can show in the background and like little weird optimization tricks. And I don't know. I just made an absolute fool of myself on the internet for 6 months, and then through like just failing and like through yeah, through all these mistakes, I just met people who like matured me quite a lot, and I don't know, that that turned out to be the method, just like spamming goofball shit on social media until I got employed. And yeah, this summer I do have a SWE job. I signed an NDA, which I know sounds like I swear I have a job, I swear, but it'll become apparent. Another trick I've heard, so I was talking about this with several of my mentors, like spamming thousands of resumes to people just does not work anymore at all. The way better thing is to find a company that specializes in software plus your hobby. So I think the example this one mentor gave me was firefighting. Like he knew a friend who was a firefighter, and instead of applying to thousands of companies, he told that friend, okay, you're gonna write a very bespoke email, you're gonna research all the people at this company, and then you're gonna approach them like either with an email, or you're gonna try to get in contact with them either, I don't know, through LinkedIn or something, or give them a call and be like, yeah, I'm a firefighter, I'm really into this. And they're gonna see like, okay, this guy isn't just like a contractor who's trying to rake in our money and do the bare minimum. This guy actually really cares about firefighting. He's gonna show up and he's gonna help our, I don't know what the company was, like a fire station aggregator or some shit. I don't know. But the point is like, if you have the hobby that the company is doing, you actually are invested in the company's success instead of just being like a paycheck leech, which they don't like to see. And yeah, also people really, really underestimate how far like smiles and compliments go in making you just like a likable hire. Yeah, and also a lot of engineers, I think, like underestimate or overestimate, like no, underestimate, I guess, their lack of social skills. Like I didn't realize until it was pointed out to me brutally many times over. Like, wow, I'm not very charming, am I? I'm kind of an asshole. And like a lot of people, a lot of engineers are also quite like that in my experience. So they lack emotional self awareness. They lack common social skills, conversational balance dynamics. Like there are lots of things to learn, and I'm not saying that to like shame anyone. I'm just saying that because that was absolutely the case for me, and fixing those things like helped so much. It made me so much more professional and so much more hireable. Yeah, that's about all the advice I have. I'm sure there's lots of other little miscellaneous things you can do to kind of engineer the system a little bit. Pull every string you have. Use nepotism like crazy. Like if you have any friend you suspect has parents in any industry, play that connection. Um, that's how I ended up talking to a lot of like random CTOs of companies and stuff. And then when you're like friends with a guy, and his uncle is like has a software company, it's pretty easy to just like listen to the uncle and be like, yeah, I do love your idea. Your idea about AI there is really good. Just be sycophantic, be like an LLM. And like those older people who run the CTOs who run those companies will love you. Enthusiastic youth who's really motivated to make my company thrive, hell yeah, I'm hiring that guy. Versus like mystery sea of unknown LinkedIn applications with like dubiously true achievements. Like I don't care where the fuck your degree is from. Like it's all the same prepackaged like slideshow bullshit anyway. Like who gaff, bro? Who gaff? It's way better to just like be in person and have the persuasion abilities to get jobs. Like that's just how it's done these days. Luke Smith, sorry, I keep mentioning him. You should go look him up if you haven't. He also said in an old video, like, I'm a very firm believer in just walk into a building, shake some hands, ask for a job. And I heard that and I was like, nah, bro, that may have been the boomer strat, but no, he is absolutely right. Like, people just underestimate how much people really, really appreciate having a human show up on the other end who actually cares about the cause, who is friendly, who is going to be nice to work with. It goes such a long way. It's unreal. Yeah, I just lay this out there because I think like a lot of the effort people put in, like especially just sending out thousands of applications is really sad to see, like to see your life force being drained away by techno capital, just like squeezed out of you. Oh, I have to send so many applications, I have to sell myself, I have to become a cog in the machine. And it's like it doesn't have to be that way. You can have a real fun old time while you're employed at the same time. Shoot for those small companies. Yeah, that's about it. I'll catch you next time.